Microsoft is launching its xCloud streaming service on September 15th, and third parties are starting to announce their controllers for the service. So let's go and take a look at the controllers themselves. Now, Xbox.com has an article about the controllers, and there are three that they announced in this article. And so the first one is the Razer Kishi, and as you can see there, it looks very much like a Nintendo Switch type of controller. So to me personally, I feel like that feels a little bit wide. It's even even the Nintendo Switch already feels very wide to me, and I kind of prefer something more like a Vita. But maybe other people are okay with this. So if you kind of like that Nintendo Switch feel, then I think you would get the Razer Kishi. So they say that the Razer Kishi is going to be $99.99, and I guess the reason why it's kind of expensive is because the number of people that are going to be buying this thing will be a lot lower than if they made a first-party Xbox controller where everybody ends up buying the Xbox controller and they can make loads of it. So economies of scale, basically. Now, the Power A is more like your typical Xbox controller. Personally, I would just prefer to have it in the middle, like the Razer Kishi, so it's kind of like a portable console device like the Switch. And actually, I think, you know, this one is kind of easy to kind of just throw in the bag. So, you know, maybe you're on Apple iOS device and then you buy like a cheap Android device and then put the Android device into this controller itself, and that would be your dedicated xCloud device. So, but anyway, the Power A, if you wanted to have like a controller that mimicked the Xbox, then this one would probably be for you. They also have a second one that it's a little bit more like the Switch. You still have the Xbox style of controller, however you put the mobile device in the middle, so it's like a halfway point between an Xbox controller and the Switch type of feel where the screen is in the middle. So if you feel like with the first controller, the Razer Kishi, you don't get enough grip, then maybe this one would be for you. But again, this one feels very big and bulky, so I don't know. If you like that, go for it. Now here's something interesting. Power A are also going to develop a clip so that you can just clip it onto your existing Xbox controller. So that would be pretty cool if you don't want to buy the new controller, the Power A controller, for $69.99. You could just buy the clip for $14.99. Okay, and finally there is the 8BitDo controller. Now this looks very much like existing 8BitDo controllers that they do for the Nintendo, and so they're Bluetooth controllers, but still it looks like it's very good quality. And if you liked 8BitDo's existing controllers in the past, then this would definitely be a suitable option. And the other thing is that it's also looking like it's a lot smaller than the other devices. So if you like something that's a little bit more compact, then this would be the go for you. And the other thing is that it's only $44.99, so it's a little bit cheaper than the other two controllers. 8BitDo have a clip as well, so if you want to get that, you can, yeah, it's $14.99. They also announced a SteelSeries headset device. Not much to say about that except check for reviews for when that releases, and to see if the quality, because I bought a couple of these headset devices, and typically the sound quality is a bit iffy, and then the voice is also a bit iffy. So you're way better off getting dedicated like headphones and dedicated mics rather than an all-in-one set like this if you care about the quality of the sound that you're hearing and also when you speak. Now my final thoughts on this is that yes, it's great to have a bunch of diverse type of designs, and what I really hope for is that Microsoft develops one design for their xCloud and select it as their first party go-to design for playing xCloud. So maybe they just have this type of device, which is like a switch device, where they say, yes, you can put in your own Google device and it's the official xCloud gaming device. And then you could have your other third-party devices, allowing third parties to go in. And yes, I understand they have their own Xbox controller that you could use with xCloud with your Google mobile phone, and that's fine. But this kind of setup doesn't really look very sleek to me, at least in terms of design. So if Microsoft were to go with just using the original Xbox controller, I don't think people want that. I think people want this type of design, like the Nintendo Switch. So really, Microsoft needs to develop some sort of like first-party design like this. But again, having all of these third-party options is great. Normally, I feel like with controllers, people are quite picky and they just want the first-party version. So Microsoft really need to develop something like this over something like this.